what Kansas City was doing, they were using him as a battering ram to make sure that they could control one possession games. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Look at how Baltimore folded when against Kansas City in the title game in a one possession game, just because they was under the impression they needed touchdowns. So what Kansas City did, flip the script. We're gonna bludgeon you to the point to where offensively Lamar has to beat Patrick Mahomes instead of Lamar. It was
Listen,
beautiful.
great discussion. I want to get to the main topic of today's show. Of course, I put it last because I feel like it's an interesting conversation to have. All the conversation, and this idea was sparked by seeing this graphic. Shout out to NFL Live for the graphic. Bears quarterback history: 0 seasons with 4,000-yard pass, 0 seasons with a 30-yard touchdown passer, 39 starting quarterbacks since 1989. Right? Again, Bears football from a coach's perspective. I'm looking at this totally different. I don't believe if you look at our history, right? I don't believe we've never had franchise level talent at the quarterback position. I don't believe that. I believe we've had franchise level talent at the quarterback position. Now, football being more nuanced now, more people having media outlets, channels, we can discuss football more nuanced and details. More attention's become and focused on the coaching, particularly the offensive coordinators now. And the Bears have rolled this out. What are we doing? I recognize me and Jay were talking pre-production. I recognize 2, 3, 4. I recognize 6 of these guys in this, well, 7 technically, in this graphic right here. Nasty work. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Which one of these guys went on from Chicago to do anything in the NFL, pioneer anything, trailblaze anything?
Hey, why are you hating? Matt Nagy got his Super Bowl rings. Stop it.
Man. At least on your trolling this morning, huh?
It's nasty work.
Is it the fact that we've never had a franchise level talent in Chicago, or have we never had a franchise level play caller, offensive coordinator? My follow-on question to that is Shane Waldron coming into the situation the best we've had? Does he have the best resume? Does he have the greatest opportunity, if you will? And then the third part of that question, this is a loaded one, right? Quarterback of OC, is Shane better than anybody we had coming into the situation? And the third question, I just had an old moment. It'll come back to me. I should have wrote it down.
Can I answer this?
I was trying to do too much. I should have had coffee. Jay laughing at me.
I ain't had my
Right,
coffee.
he laughing hard.
Go ahead, AJ.
Okay, so I feel like people are gonna hate this answer, but also like this answer because I feel like you could say yes to both. I feel like for certain quarterbacks, yeah, it was the OC, but for others, the quarterback was just not good. Enough, I guess you could say. Like I think about the era I remember the most is Jay Cutler, right? I remember Jay Cutler's time with the Chicago Bears, and he was talented in Denver before we traded for him in 2009 or whatever it was, right? Like he was throwing for 4,000 yards and all this nonsense, right? Like so you automatically think, oh man, like we just got this dude, we got a dude, right? But then you look at the OCs and you look at the fact that he went through 7 OCs in 6 years or whatever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to ask yourself, how do you expect any quarterback, even a guy like a Jay Cutler who is having great seasons, marvelous seasons, how do you expect him to succeed when every year he has to learn a new playbook? Like how do you expect him to thrive in that kind of situation, right? Like there was no doubt in his talent. Yeah, he made some boneheaded plays. I'm not going to deny that, right? Like there were some plays where you're like, probably should have not done that. But you could see the talent and you could see why he had all that success in Denver. But for whatever reason, he gets to Chicago and it just never clicked, right? It never clicked. But then you look at the fact that he went through all these OCs, so he was learning a new playbook every single year. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care, how good your talent is, no one can thrive in that kind of situation. And I
Great point,
think
Elise. I don't want to cut you out. I want to capitalize on what you just said right there.
Mm.
Right. So, cause the knock on to me, Cutler was franchise level
yes,
talent,
yes, absolutely,
franchise arm
yes,
talent, franchise level
Yes,
arm
yes.
talent. So
totally
the knock on Jay would be Jay never reached his potential. Jay had leadership, ca-
Right,
character
problem.
issues, right?
Yes.
agree.
But you said about the offensive coordinator changes that Jay needed to endure. Who's that on? Is it on Jay to just take it and be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to be here. All y'all clowns keep getting fired every other year, and so I'm finna be a diva. Like, is the fact that Jay was a bit of a diva and was labeled with being a bad leader, is it Jay's fault or is it the organization's fault? Because
I feel like it was both, right? I feel like organization
No,
wise, it's like, um, how do I just asked, how do you thrive out of that? Like Jay Cutler was like the dude. Like y'all have to go back and watch him in Denver. Like he
Oh
was
my,
the
yeah,
dude, right? Like he was the dude. Like
was.
I don't know, man. Like
did
just
we
going.
break him?
Yes, yes. I think we did. I think he just got enough. Like every year he's humping his ass, right? He's doing what he needs to do, and every year it doesn't work. He's learning a new playbook. He's like, oh well, here we go again. I got to get a new playbook and learn this offense and hope that we can get it figured out halfway through the season. And it's like, you know, at this point, I'm wasting energy. Like every year, it's the same nonsense all the time. So why would I exert energy and waste my time being, this happy-go-lucky guy
Go
every year?
ahead, Julius.
No, so you mentioned the name. I believe it was either Thursday or Sunday, and nobody really said anything. And I just looked up his college numbers, and I want to talk about him real quick because you said franchise quarterbacks, whatever. Jim McMahon, right? Y'all,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't a franchise quarterback. Let me tell y'all his last 2 seasons. These are his numbers, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I'm bringing these up. His junior season, he threw for 4,500 yards, 47 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. His senior year, he threw for 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So he definitely could throw the ball all over the field. He said, and I'm gonna look for that clip. He said that he wanted to throw the ball over the field, but Dicker wouldn't allow it. He refused to let
Dick had
Jim
never
McMahon figure it
trusted Jim
out,
McMahon.
and he didn't like him. And then two,
Yeah,
we had Walter Payton, and we had a great defense and a great offensive line. So there was really no need in Dicker's mind to throw the ball all over the field.
facts.
So I say all that to say it's like I just think that in Jay and Jim, and in case it was wrong place, wrong time for those guys because they weren't allowed to really showcase their talent. And the other ones, I think the OCs were past their mark. Like Mike Martz, he's probably the most accomplished that came to the Bears, but after he left, dude ain't been in the NFL. We all
Hey,
know.
y'all gotta start respecting Matt Nagy and his Super Bowl rings. Y'all are out here. This is wild.
no,
Knock
This
it
is
off.
wild
We gonna take you.
nonsense.
You this
no,
we've been turning this in spaces and take you off the screen if you keep it up.
no.
Hey, listen,
You're
we're
about to
talking.
get packed up.
But I
We're talking QB play, right? Franchise quarterback, is it the OC or the QB? And what better time to segue into our resident QB on the show, Bishop? Let us know what you think. Is it the OCs or the QBs? Is the history of the Chicago Bears? Where's the blame? Is it the OCs or the QBs? I feel like we've had franchise quarterbacks, and then Julius made a great point, right? If you take it in the context, right? How can you say now? This is the OG talking, right? Back then, the way football was played, Jim McMahon was a franchise quarterback for how foot. See, Mike Dicker is not throwing the ball all over the field back then because you didn't do that back then. It was what they call three runs in the cloud of dust, right? You get off the bus, running the ball. That was the way you played football. Go back and watch some of those 85 tapes. Everybody in the stadium knew what the play call was.